guess give us the health update.
Yeah, I got fully clear about a week ago, so been in practice for a week and just getting my legs back under me. It's fun to be out there with the guys again and just get back to work.
How troublesome was that shoulder the last, I guess, 6 weeks, 2 months of the year?
Yeah, it was definitely affecting me on and off the court, just having to get in with Vic extra and do a bunch of extra stuff after practice, before and after games, and just to get it ready to go. But just being able to work through that for the team to do what we did last year was super cool, and then obviously had time in the off season to take care of it.
Was there ever any contemplation of shutting it down early and getting surgery before the end of the season?
No. It would have had to been really. I wouldn't have been able to play for that to happen.
TJ has repeatedly said during this process that maybe a little bit of time for you to rest is good given how hard you go all the time. I'm sure you get that, but at the same time it's like you don't want it. How would you describe balancing that? Kind of like, maybe, okay, this feeling is good, but damn, I want to play.
Yeah, definitely at first I was like, okay, I'll get a little bit extra rest. Don't got to get out there right away beginning of June and kill my body. But once we got to the first week of practice, I wanted to be out there. So it was kind of a difficult balance of realizing my body needed it, but also wanting to be out there. So.
Has there been a slow integration for you into practice, or have you been able to kind of keep up your conditioning and you're just now kind of slotting into the actual court?
I'd say the first week I came back, it was no contact, so I was kind of participating in half of practice. So that helped a little bit to get in shape before the next week. But I was on the bike with Pete every practice before, so just finding ways to help my conditioning. And now that I'm out there, it took a week or two to get back, but I feel like I'm fully back and able to go up and down pretty well, so it's good.
Have you had that collision or dove on the floor yet where it's like, okay, I'm fine, like my shoulder's back to where it needs to be?
Yeah, a few times. I mean, there's definitely tons of collisions. I don't know if there's a time where it was exactly on my shoulder, but I've been getting hit. We all get hit every practice, so I haven't thought about it, so it's a good thing.
When was your first day back, roughly, non-contact, and then how close to full bore have you gotten as these practices have wound down?
I'd say, so last Monday, not sure the date, that was my first practice full contact, and then the week previous was just, that whole week was non-contact. That first week non-contact was good to get out there, do some 5-on-0 stuff and just simple drills, just to sort of build up into last week where I was able to go full go. So.
How restrictive at different points were you? I mean, were you able to dribble with your offhand, different things after the surgery?
I was in a sling for a month, so it was pretty restrictive, just walking around like this, not being able to do a lot. And then after that, it was really just motion, so also not dribbling for another 4 weeks, so it's pretty much two months without touching the basketball. And then the third month, I was able to get out there a little bit, do some form shooting and stuff, but it was definitely difficult to not get out on the court and do something.
What's the last time you didn't dribble a basketball for more than 2 days, let alone 2 months?
Yeah, probably my last injury, sophomore year of high school, so it's.
You didn't even dribble that when you had your ACL? I bet you did.
I did, but first week I was bed rest, but definitely this was definitely the longest time.
You were using your right hand, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I was still trying to play video games and stuff in my sling like this, but it didn't work very well.
You went pretty much from Sweet 16 to surgery, right? I mean, so contrast that with last season, right? You're working with Crawford, you're changing your shot completely, you're at it to having to not be at it. How would you contrast those two things and just how, I guess, mentally tougher both of those conditions or situation can make you?
Yeah, it was definitely complete opposite from last year's off season where I was in the gym getting shots after shots after shots, and now this year it was limited on everything. So it was more watching film or just visualizing or just being engaged once we started practice. But first couple times I got to work out, my shot was definitely a little rusty, but thankfully last year I got a good feel for it, a lot of confidence, and it's right back to where it was.
What have, I guess, those 2 off seasons taught you about making the most of the situation, whatever the circumstances are?
Yeah.
You were able to work on your shot last year, this year, maybe more mental game and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Depends on where you're at. Depends on who you are, and there's so many different factors. But realizing that there's so many different things that you can do in the off season to prepare you for the season. If that's skill work, if that's shooting, dribbling, like mental things or watching film. Just realizing that every year could be something different that you need to work on, and just realizing that I had something different this year. So.
Did the perspective of being a spectator for practice give you anything about your teammates or your team?
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing the new guys come in and seeing what they could do. Just more opportunity for guys to go up and down with some bodies out. So just seeing how they work, how they like to do things, really tuned in on that because I wasn't able to be connected with them on the court, but sort of trying to watch how they play from the sideline and then just encouraging guys and sort of being a team guy. I would have to be on one team, coaching one team while they were doing 5-on-5 stuff, so just pouring into the group.
What have you seen from Keyshawn sort of taking over while you're on the sideline in terms of his leadership and his ability to switch over as a point guard?
Yeah, it's been amazing just seeing his transition. Obviously, he can play point, he can play 2, he could also play 3. So in the summer, obviously, with me being out, he's played a lot on the ball and sort of controlling the offense and running everything. So it's been cool to see. He's definitely gotten a lot better with the ball and just decision making and everything like that, running the team. So he's done a great job.
Was there a moment last season when you kind of realized, maybe it was in the preseason with Keyshawn, that the 2 of you together could perform a pretty dynamic duo? I mean, both of you were all Big 12 selections a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, right away just competing against each other. It was hard competing against him every day in the summer, and just from that point on, I realized we were going to be a good duo. Starts on the defensive end for both of us, which is really cool and translates to playmaking on the offensive side and being able to get downhill and do a little bit of everything. So we're kind of similar, but also very different, but we work together at a high level.
Were you able to create a little bit of a special bond with Joshua? Because you guys were both rehabbing different injuries, of course, but rehabbing at the same time, probably looking over at the bike today, how's it going?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, definitely. We were off to the side, biking together, getting that work in. So just being able to talk about practice, maybe help him with some things since he's not out there, he hasn't been out there. If he had a question, I would answer and just talk about practice while we were on the side and sort of teach him about some of the things that we do, and just so it's easy for him when he makes that transition on the court.
How did he impress you when you saw him back out on the floor first time with you guys, I guess?
Yeah, he impressed me a lot. I hadn't seen a lot of his game, but he definitely has a bigger bag than I thought. So just to see his playmaking ability for his size and how strong he is, he can finish. He's a great passer, so he can do a little bit of everything.
Is that front court going to be radically different than you've seen the last couple of years? I mean, obviously personnel-wise it will be, but if you've got a guy that can do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little different. I feel like we still have guys that can do a little bit of everything, like how we had Haas, who was more above the rim than we had Rob, who was below the rim. Sort of have that same dynamic, but added a little bit more with Joshua being able to play maybe a little bit of 5 and being more skilled at that position. So just a lot of different options for the front court.
What's the excitement level for you? Obviously, growing up in close proximity to the program, now spending 2 years with the program. What's your excitement level as you guys approach this season?
Yeah, it's through the roof, just knowing what we did last year, accomplishing great things, and just knowing that we have high standards and definitely expectations this year that were different than my first 2 years, and realizing how to handle those, not get too high and not get too low, and just stay the same daily habits, same work ethic, and compete to be the best.
How is that harder, different, easier this year than the previous 2 years? And what's in your thoughts, I guess?
I think for us, I think it's pretty easy. I think sometimes when you're underlooked, I feel like it's easier to get motivation. Well, now a lot of people have eyes on us, but our program is so high on just being yourself and being the same person every day, no matter what people say about you or things that the media says. So we just come in and work no matter what our standards or expectations are, and that's something I love about this group and this program.
I know know you weren't obviously on the team TJ's first year, but you were around a lot. How have you seen that culture that you just described cement itself over the course of 3+ years?
Yeah, it's amazing how quick the coaches have made this program so great, and the turnaround that happened just from year one, going to the Sweet 16, and then building off from last year and then previous years, and just seeing the culture get bigger and bigger, and the fans just coming back with excitement every year after year, and just the things that the coaches preach, and they never change, and the standard just keeps getting raised every year.
How have you been challenged to kind of take a little bit of a bigger leadership role with, Rob leaving? He obviously had a big vocal role amongst you guys in the locker room.
Yeah, I was definitely challenged just being off to the side before I was able to practice. Like I said earlier, being with one team, sort of being the coach of that team, and just communicating things that they were going to go out and do on the court, and that really helped. And now just realizing I have 2 years under my belt in this program, and some of the new guys come in and just need a little extra push or a little extra help sometimes, and just stepping up and being that guy to give that information has been good.
Is that almost a natural progression for you? Now being a junior starting point guard, having that under your belt for the last 2 years, is it natural and come easy for you to be a bigger leader?
I'd say it's a little bit more natural than being an underclassman. It's a little difficult, but now that I'm an upperclassman, it's a little more natural, like you said, a little easier to get out there and be more vocal and be more comfortable with it. That's something that's a difference this year.
How did coaching feel?
It's different. I liked it though, being able to tell the guys what to do, see them execute it is a great feeling. Sometimes they don't execute it. That's the hard thing about coaching, but it was a different perspective for me.
When you're sitting around, do you ever, I don't know, not pinch yourself, do you ever think, man, I'm a veteran? I mean, growing up with the program, loving the program, growing up seeing doing 22 and seeing the Sweet 16 the next year, and you're all in at those points, and now you're all in as a veteran player. Is it a little bit wild to think about, A, the trajectory of the program in recent years, and throughout the month, but also your own trajectory, just tracking right alongside?
Yeah, it's just gone so quick from the day I committed to this program, and now being an upperclassman, being a veteran, like you said, it's gone by super quick, and I'm trying to cherish every moment that I have, because those 2 years went by so quick, and was able to accomplish a lot of great things and have a pretty great season. So just not taking anything for granted, realizing that only got 2 years left, because I don't have a COVID year, unfortunately, like some other guys, but just taking every day with excitement.